What did I like about the passage? Well, I like how clear Luke's goal is from the beginning. He states immediately right off the bat that his goal was to compile an account of the things that were accomplished among them. I like how that translation says that. And that he compiled his information from eyewitnesses who were servants of the word. I like how he refers to Jesus as the word because that's who he is. That's how John starts off his book as well. And he carefully investigated everything and he put it in consecutive order that would have been appropriate for Theophilus. He wanted to do a great job for this high ranking official to help him understand all the facts surrounding Jesus. I love that it starts off that way. I also love how he describes Zacharias and Elizabeth as being righteous in the sight of God and walking blamelessly in the commandments and requirements of the Lord. I like that we get this understanding of who John the Baptist's parents were and how closely they walked with God and how they feared him and wanted to honor him. And then I love how the angel meets him and he tells him, don't be afraid, just like so often has to happen with angels. We're terrified as human beings of these angels, but they tell him not to be afraid. And he named the baby. And then I just like getting to be a part of this unbelievably exciting event. I mean, Zacharias, this is a once in a lifetime thing that he's getting to do, getting to be consecrated, to be chosen as the one priest to go into the temple the one time of year. So this chapter starts off in a big way, and it's exciting to get to see it. What do I not like about the passage or not understand? Well, there's a couple things that aren't super clear to me. And one is verse 17. And it is he who will go as a forerunner before him in the spirit and power of Elijah. So the dots are connected between Elijah, the prophet, and John the Baptist. And Elijah, the prophet, is who the Jewish nation was looking for prior to the Messiah coming. And so the angel connects the dots for Zacharias. And Jesus also connects the dots from John the Baptist to Elijah. But I can see the confusion in that. Another thing that's kind of hard to understand is the discipline of Zacharias. And to us, it kind of seems like, wow, that seems a little harsh or whatever. And whenever I'm faced with these portions of scripture that it seems disproportionate, I have to acknowledge the fact that I must be underestimating sin somehow, that we don't quite see how the depth and gravity of our own sin or other people's sin sometimes. So when God's discipline seems disproportionate, it's my understanding that's off. And so there must have been something much more grave about Zacharias' doubt than what meets the eye. What does this chapter say about God? It says that he's got a firm and solid and specific plan, years and years of prophecy layered into the life of Jesus. And I love how specific he is, and he reveals those things and helps us to know this was all stated before in advance. I also love to see the response to human beings in the presence of angels and how they're afraid. And some of them fall and collapse straight on the ground. And if that's how human beings respond to angels, how much more will we respond when we see the glory of God in its fullest? So to me, it just talks about the awe and the majesty of God himself as we see this response to Gabriel, the angel who stands in the presence of God. What does this chapter say about man? This says that just like Elizabeth and Zacharias, we can be blameless before the Lord and walk closely in his precepts and still not get his plan. He is still a mystery. His holiness is still a mystery. So we can be mature believers who know God's precepts, yet his plan should surely throw us for a loop, and we will always be tested in our faith and have room to grow. How do I apply this passage to me? Well, I think it is to always expect the unexpected from God and really be watching carefully each day and really seeking him carefully each day and asking for wisdom to open my eyes, not only the words that I see on these pages, but the meaning behind the words on these pages, and allow him to guide and lead me in the mysteries of his own heart like only he can. And I'm thankful that I get to be engaged in this process, and by faith is no joke. And I'm grateful that he is the author and perfecter of our faith, and he will get you there and he will get me there. And that's a relief. Who am I going to tell? I am really grateful for this Christmas season. Even just today, we had a really wonderful man who came into our home to help hang some porch swings and to fix a sink that I broke just a few days before Christmas. I was so thankful to have him, but we had this great conversation about prayer and different things like that. So I'm hopeful that I'll be able to have a conversation about Jesus this week with many people. I love Christmas for that reason, that we get to speak about things even more freely, maybe, or have some conversations with people that we wouldn't normally have conversations with. So I'm praying for you. I'm praying for me as we seek Jesus deeply, watch him closely, that we'll have things to share with the people around us who need to hear about him. Thanks again for tonight. So glad to be examining Jesus this week, loving and worshiping him along with you, and I'll see you tomorrow.